How often do you set a stretch goal and then you hit a wall because you're overwhelmed or frustrated? Hi, I'm Tony Bodo. I'm the #1 best-selling author of The Complete Experience and the creator of Brave Leadership Mastery. One of the biggest reasons we fail to achieve our goals as leaders is that we and our teams often feel overwhelmed. But why do we feel overwhelmed? Well, I'm going to give you 3 reasons this morning so you can really think about this in your own life, in your own business, and see if these are affecting you. Number 1, biologically, we are built for the status quo. Our entire nervous system is designed to detect changes. Think about it. You don't even notice the room temperature until you get a chill or until you recognize that you're perspiring. And you begin to wonder, why is the room this temperature? And you become consciously aware of it. So our nervous system detects minute changes. And overwhelm is the bringing to our conscious mind awareness that we're facing something. And it brings us to a level of alertness so we can do something to change that. The second thing is that from an evolutionary perspective, the feelings of overwhelm actually kept us safe. And that may be shocking to some people, but here's the reality. They would stop us when we were engaged in potentially dangerous activity. It would actually cause us to stop, to not move forward. Those who did not feel feelings of overwhelm, they actually would continue on into risky behaviors. And guess what? Many of them died, which means their entire genetic line actually died out with them, which is why we have so many people today that feel overwhelmed, because biologically, we were more likely to survive than those who did not feel overwhelmed. The third thing is that when we make progress toward our goals, but it seems harder and it's taken us longer, more effort was involved to make a few steps forward. We begin to extrapolate and to expand and multiply. Well, if it took me this much effort, this much time to do step 1 and step 2, and I know I've got 20 or 40 or 100 steps to go, this becomes overwhelming because for us, it suddenly seems so big that we can't accomplish it. We begin to imagine that the effort involved with achieving the goal is not worth the reward of achievement. So in your own life, think about it. You can probably point to reasons that you feel overwhelmed either on a daily basis, maybe even today. One thing we do know is that most of the time, the feelings of overwhelm are ill-suited for our lives today. We will not die if we take action on something that appears risky. We're not going to challenge our livelihood in most cases. We'll not actually lose everything that we've built in our lives in most cases. So that overwhelmed emotional state that we feel actually is altering our perspective of reality, narrowing our focus to only see those things that are most dangerous to us. And we've got to ask ourselves, is that real? And it's really hard to do unless you understand how to manage your mind and manage your emotions related to overwhelm. And the reason that this matters so much to us right now is that the world is rapidly advancing, and the changes we're going to see in the next 10 years will absolutely blow away what we've seen happen in the last 10 years. So what has happened in the last 10 years? Well, 10 years ago, the iPhone was introduced. 7 years ago, the iPad was introduced. We have smartphones and tablets now as a way of life. Think about that, 10 years. Moving forward, we're going to have all kinds of things happen like augmented reality and virtual reality. These things are going to be commonplace, even more common than a cell phone is today. So don't be overwhelmed by these. What we have to learn the skill sets to adapt ourselves more quickly, faster than evolution could naturally adapt us. And so we've got to be able to see faster and larger disruptions that are coming for our business in the industries that we work in our marketplace. And if you and I are going to succeed, we need to learn how to master our overwhelm and to act as brave leaders in the face of change. So if this is interesting to you, we want to take this further. We want to learn what you can do for yourself. I invite you to join me this week in the live Brave Leadership Mastery training, where I will take you through how to achieve stretch goals without feeling overwhelmed. You're going to learn 5 things. Number 1, you're going to learn how to stretch or how to set those stretch goals that you will actually achieve. You're going to learn how to avoid the biggest mistake that people make when setting stretch goals. Number 3, I'm going to share with you the 2 forces that when they come together cause overwhelm. You're not going to believe how easy it is to work through that. Number 3, we're also going to show you how exactly to know to respond to your overwhelm. So when you're in that state of overwhelm, how do you respond to it? And then number 5, I want to give you the number 1 trick that I use to beat overwhelm, especially when I wake up in the morning and I don't want to move forward. This is the one trick that I use and I've taught to people to use for the last 7 years. We'll be broadcasting live on Facebook. So register at the link below, and we look forward to seeing you.